last war began in error. Whose error, nobody knows. Nor does it matter anymore. Nothing matters now other than survival. The nuclear holocaust wiped out all semblance of rhyme and reason. Cities obliterated, farmlands devastated, the ecology imbalanced. And all that is left is a parched and arid wasteland, a scorched and seething earth where what little water there is hoarded and kept under heavy guard. For water is power, and whoever controls the water controls the world.
Now I was fooling around here. Now I was at this little Facebook page, End Times, Great Tribulation, Prepare You the Way of the Lord. Really cool people on this page. You ought to join us. Go over there and take a peek and sign up. A lot of great people in there. Anyway, so I was over here. I saw this post. And it was about, it was from the Blaze, where, Kerry's given $250 million in aid to Egypt. Now, I was going to make a crack on it, but I decided to look at the article first. And it releases $250 million in aid. He's releasing $250 million in aid. They're really trying to get a $4.8 billion loan package from the IMF. Okay? $250 million is part of what we're giving them. And it's going to unlock $1 billion in U.S. assistance promised by Obama. I'm like, what the heck? Are you serious? $250 million is the tip of the iceberg. So now I'm mad. So we all know that Kerry is part of the Heinz deal. I won't buy anything Heinz. You shouldn't either. You should just bankrupt Heinz. Okay? Because Heinz is behind this guy. He wouldn't be a senator. He's a traitor. Okay? But anyway, I go over to Heinz and I'm going to put a ketchup bottle that he's pledging, do some satire. He's pledging $250 million from Heinz. I didn't know it was 4.8 in the end. And lo and behold, I see H.J. Heinz Companies enters into agreement to be acquired by Berkshire Hathaway and 3G Capital. Okay? So you need to quit buying Heinz now. Heinz is done. Go to Hunt's. Okay? Just forget it. It's not even an American company anymore. Okay? So, I know about Berkshire Hathaway. Alright? Anyway, I looked it up for you. Did your homework. Okay? You can do it. I'm posting these pages just as I look at them because, rewriting them. There's no point. There's so much here. Just look at the links and click over to them. You can open 2 windows. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 windows open right now. And I'm on satellite. So you people on cable can do a much better job than me. Alright, but let's go to Berkshire Capital. Oh my gosh. Crazy House, Buckingham Gate, a leading financial advisor services, M&A advisor. Berkshire Capital is the leading global boutique investment bank focused on M&A in the asset management and securities industry. Okay? Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? Why are we always having to, we're always sitting here, Obama's a Muslim, but Obama can't be a Muslim because he violates the Muslim faith too much. His wife ain't wearing a burqa. And he's Larry Sinclair told about their relationships. We've seen all that before. Larry Sinclair, and then Larry says that he killed two of the other lovers in that love triangle, or whatever you call it, quadrangle. It's distorted. This is like Rome, right? Well, all right. Where do we tie Obama with Britain and the banks? Bingo! Russia holds Obama for suspicion. Shock claim. Obama's Kenyan birth records discovered in British legal experts believe Obama is still a British citizen. Article after article. And look at the Google, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next! Okay, so let's just choose the first one. Alright, let's see where it goes. September 6, 2009. American Reporter. Russia holds Obama for suspicion of being a British spy. Back in 2005, investigator in Chicago fingers Obama for being a British spy as far back as 2004. Okay, da-da-da-da-da. Right. Anyway, back era when he was a senator, Russia border guards at the airport at the Siberian city of Perm demanded to search the U.S. government aircraft carrying the delegation, which also included Senator Barack Obama, who was making his first foreign trip since becoming a senator. Obama is also a member of the Foreign Relations Committee. America's officials, citing a U.S.-Russian agreement that does not allow such inspections, refused to allow the search, leading to a 3-hour standoff at the airport. Whatever they wanted from him that day, they couldn't get. Okay, because of some international thing. They had him. They knew he was spy. They held him for 3 hours having that agreement. Now that's like causing an international incident. Alright? This doesn't look good, people. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you a warning from Russia. I had somebody that speaks Russian. The captions that you will see in this video are correct. Okay? Russia is warning us. Okay? They're warning us to do something about Obama. Now, just to close it up a little bit, 3G Capital, Berkshire 3G Capital, $23 billion Heinz deal. Okay, got all this stuff. There's no difference between Berkshire and Berkshire Hathaway. It's all the same people. All the same little circle of money. Now you notice I have Glenn Beck in here. I'll use Alex Jones if I can prove them. There's anybody and anything they see, you'll see their name. It's their stuff. I just put it all together so you can get a better picture, because they kind of skip and make you go back and look. You know, this stuff ain't that hard to do. Alright, you see all that? Okay, here's the deal box. Look. Berkshire and 3G Capital, a $23 billion deal for Heinz. Okay. Oh, looky here. Look who's behind the whole thing. Warren Buffett. Just days ago, 144-year-old American icon was being hashed out in a Pittsburgh conference room as executives spoke by phone to representatives of two global billionaires who wanted to go by the names of Al and Goose. Al was Warren Buffett, executor of Berkshire Hathaway. Goose was George Paulo Lehman, who became one of Brazil's wealthiest financiers with 3G Capital. What emerged from the talks was a $23 billion takeover of H.G. Heinz. The announcement of the deal on Thursday and involvement was closely followed by Mr. Buffett. Okay. Got all these players. You want to know why? Obama, Heinz, Buffett. You know, we're just being sold down the river. These guys got it like, this is so conflict of interest. You know, they sit there and they give these guys billions and millions of dollars to this guy to do this, to do that, to do this, right? And to do that. And for what? So people can die? Okay? Because all these games they're playing and this money they're giving and the things they're doing, you know what? It's making Russia mad. Now, I just had this little clip here to show you that, you know, the circle of money. All right.
If the events of this past week were to communicate one thing loud and clear, it is that the time for Glass-Steagall, national banking, and NWAPA has come. But with Barack Obama in the White House, the time that still exists to enact those policies may be swiftly cut short by the thermonuclear conflict with Russia that Obama is committed to. Just yesterday, Russian Prime Minister Medvedev warned unequivocally that nations seeking to usurp the national sovereignty of any nation, especially theirs, that nuclear war is indeed on the table for any such violation.
Это реалии, с которыми мы все должны считаться. И государственной власти придется дать на этот запрос свой, надеюсь, эффективный ответ. Доктрина государственного суверенитета. Она не должна размываться, даже если это удобно для достижения каких-то текущих политических целей. Вплоть до цели избраться на соответствующую позицию. Это просто опасно для мирового порядка. А примеров посягательств на доктрину суверенитета в последние годы было очень немало. Чего стоят и военные операции против иностранных государств в обход Организации Объединенных Наций. Заявление о том, что тот или иной политический режим потерял легитимность, причем заявление со стороны иностранных государств, а не со стороны народа соответствующей страны. Введение всяческих коллективных санкций в обход международных институтов. Все это не улучшает ситуацию в мире, а последствия скоропалительных военных операций в иностранных государствах обычно заканчиваются одним – приходом к власти радикалов. Я уже не говорю, что в какой-нибудь момент такие действия, которые подрывают государственный суверенитет, могут закончиться вполне себе такой полноценной региональной войной. И даже, никого не хочу пугать, с применением ядерного оружия. Об этом должны помнить все.
This statement is an obvious message directed to the Obama administration indirectly and the financial power that controls it. Since the illegal war launched in Libya last year and even the more unlawful assassination of Muammar Gaddafi, the administration has done nothing but show a disgusting abuse of executive power and criminal disregard for domestic and international law, a disregard that nations like Russia and even high-level U.S. military officials view as threats to national sovereignty. Russia has repeatedly stated that that is the issue over military intervention in Syria and Iran: sovereignty. That is the issue at stake with all the threats occurring at this point. And beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's what's at stake with the joint U.S.-NATO anti-ballistic missile system being built in Europe aimed at Russia. Despite Obama's irrational commitment to war, saner elements in the United States have mounted in and around the U.S. military. Specifically, Representative Walter Jones, in his push for legislation H.C.R. 107, declares that any president who launches war without congressional approval would be immediately subject to impeachment. This was followed by Senator Jim Webb in a restatement he made on the same point in the Senate in his piece of legislation S. 3176 to try to stop a preemptive illegal war. So far, they stand virtually alone, and that in and of itself increases the danger of nuclear war. While Jones's and Webb's legislation is despicably still outstanding in both houses of Congress, the U.S. House of Representatives has passed a resolution on Iran that moves the United States much closer to a war footing against Iran. And as many experts and diplomats like Dan Shapiro, the envoy to Israel from the United States, warn, America is ready to attack. The non-binding resolution H.R. 568 that overwhelmingly passed 401 to 11 effectively calls for a military attack on Iran when it obtains nuclear weapons capability. The vague interpretation already applies to Iran and actually any other country with a civilian nuclear program, and comes at a time when Israeli Defense Minister Ehud Barak is actively urging the international community to increase pressure on Syria, as he says, to strike a further blow to Iran. Colonel Lawrence Wilkerson, former Chief of Staff for the Secretary of State Colin Powell, warned that this resolution reads like the same sheet music that got us into the Iraq War and could be the precursor for a war with Iran. It's effectively a thinly disguised effort to bless war. General Wilkerson is right, and if his and others' warnings are not heeded, whether it's concerning Iran, Syria, or Russia directly, the United States will have violated the rights of a sovereign nation, whose consequences was spelled out by Medvedev yesterday. Those consequences being a thermonuclear war, threatening the annihilation of the entire human species. That is President Obama's commitment. Therefore, there is no discussion of war avoidance policy that does not include removing Barack Obama from office. We have been warned, and the way things are looking now, we will not get another one.
The British Empire's game, run through U.S. President Barack Obama, has been called out by the Russian government. They do not want it, but if pushed, will go to war. It will be thermonuclear war. Therefore, what humanity faces in light of the Obama administration's go-ahead to make the ballistic missile defense system operational based on the completion of Phase 1 on May 20th is possible extinction. Is it inevitable? Only if Barack Obama is not taken out of power. Because if Obama succeeds in his mad drive to force Russia into thermonuclear confrontation, there can be no economic recovery, domestic or international. There will be, possibly, no humanity left on the face of this earth.
And we are trying to
Your life depends on the constitutional elimination of his power. Today, on May 17th, Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev, in the presence of U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder, reiterated Russia's position that the drive coming from the U.S., acting as the geopolitical muscle of the British royal family, can easily lead to nuclear confrontation. Medvedev stated, "There have been many recent examples of the concept of state sovereignty being undermined. Military operations against foreign states bypassing the United Nations, declarations of illegitimacy of certain political regimes. This does not improve the situation in the world, while rash military interference in the affairs of another state usually results in radicals coming to power. Such actions, which undermine state sovereignty, can easily lead to full-scale regional war, even, I am not trying to scare anyone here, with the use of nuclear weapons." Member of the LaRouche PAC endorsed national slate of congressional candidates, Keisha Rogers of the 22nd District of Texas, delivered a sharp message on May 15th while organizing on the ground in Texas that the threat of thermonuclear confrontation with Russia, which we just heard Medvedev warn about, can only be stopped with the nullifying of Obama's powers.
And I will just say that the message that's being sent from Russia and from what we're seeing with the attempts and the drive toward World War III is very clear to Russia and very clear to our U.S. military. The solution is we have to get Obama out now. We have to stop this collapse, and everything that you have to put into this fight. Let's send a message, clear message to the White House. Obama must go. Let's take the nation back, and we can win this fight for mankind. Thank you.
As it stands, Barack Obama has been rejected by the American people. There is no response that will come from this administration on the collapse of the entire world financial system. All American citizens can expect from the Obama party is a showdown of thermonuclear confrontation with Russia. Do we wish to survive? That is the question. Don't simply tell yourself, yes, you want to live. Do what will enable us to live and implement the package to turn the situation around. Dump Obama. Dump him now.
Where did you get the water?
There's more here.